Yo, what's up, guys? I got 6 picks to win $10,000, okay? It's a 6 pick flex play. I'm trying to turn 400 bucks into 10 grand, and you may be like, why are you so excited about this pick? Well, yesterday I had a 6 pick flex play, and again, these aren't parlays, so I still won money, 400 to 800, 2x your money. But you can see here, it looks freaking beautiful. But then you get to the last pick, Zach Collins, under 1.5 blocks plus steals. This guy gets 2, absolutely killed my night. Last pick I put in 2, 400 to win 10 grand. But hey, part of the game, we're back at it today, and I have a bunch of sharp picks for you, so let's get into it. So the first pick I'm on is right here, and you can see, dang, lines are moving around, that's for sure. But I'm on Jalen Brunson, under 24.5 points. So you can see this plays on underdog as well. Both underdog and PrizePicks have Brunson's line at 24.5, right? You can see that right here. Now look at the sports books, right? The sharper, more efficient betting markets. You have DraftKings, FanDuel, Pinnacle, BetMGM, 10Bet, BWin, Party Poker, PointsBet. You have all these sports books who have his line at 23.5 for the most part. Caesars also has him at 23.5. So PrizePicks and underdog 24.5. All the other data points in the market, all the other sports books are at 23.5. PrizePicks is too high, right? We want to take the under. So the way you use the screen, and you can look at it for the NBA, college basketball, whatever you want, right? Literally, you can get millions of odds updating at your fingertips. Is, as a sharp sports bettor, you have to be following the market. You have to be following the data. All these books try to set lines independently. So as every smart sports bettor knows, every profitable sports bettor knows, it's all about following the market and looking for inefficiencies in the market. And here we can see PrizePicks underdog 24.5. The books are at 23.5. So we want to take the under, right? We're getting a full point of value to the market, where if Brunson has exactly 24 points, we're going to win because we're taking under 24.5. Anyone who takes under 23.5 will lose, right? So 24.5 versus 23.5 matters, right? We found a play with an edge. And I say this all the time, but a lot of people are like, is this a lock? The play's not a lock, right? Every play I give out has an edge, but I don't win every day on PrizePicks, right? You can see here in 2023, 12% ROI, ups and downs, ups and downs. I'm not claiming I win every day. I'm just finding picks with a mathematical edge, and I know I'm going to make money long term. I've studied PrizePicks. I know exactly how their payouts work. I know that 5 and 6 pick flex plays are mathematically optimal, so you'll never see me giving out picks. Like you can even see some of the ones from yesterday. Clay, we still have the opportunity to double all these up, but frickin' Clay killed us as well. He had like a few last minute rebounds, and you can see here, it's just like absolutely destroying my night. We had a 6 pick flex here, and you can see he ended up with 5. But the point of this is you're going to notice I'm always giving out, and here we have, 4 picks that look good onto the UCLA game tonight. Is all the picks I'm giving out are going to be 5 and 6 pick flex. And you may be like, oh, why are you giving out 5 and 6 pick flex? 2 pick power plays seem so much easier. And again, you have to break down the payouts, right? You literally have to. If you don't know if 3 pick power plays or 3 pick flex plays are mathematically optimal, you shouldn't be playing them, right? You shouldn't even be playing on PrizePicks if you can't even answer that question. Right? If you don't know how the sportsbook is trying to beat you and what's optimal, you're screwed. You're just going to lose money. You'll have some winning nights, but you're not going to have a 12% ROI on PrizePicks. No offense. It's just math. It's just data. So as an example, if you're hitting, if you're winning your plays, and I give this example a lot, but it's literally this important. If you're winning your picks, so if you can select, overs and unders, let's go back here. Overs and unders, if you can hit these correctly 57% of the time, in a 5-pick flex play, your ROI is going to be 19.25%. And I'll put the sheet in the description on YouTube. 19.25%. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. 19.25% ROI. If you're able to select overs and unders correctly in a 2-pick power play 57% of the time correctly, your ROI is negative 2.53%. You're getting screwed. You're losing money long term. You will not find a profitable person on PrizePicks playing 2-pick power plays. They're all... any handicapper giving out 2-pick power plays doesn't know what they're doing. There's no other way to slice the data. Just you can go through the math. You can break down the payouts yourself. You should never be placing a 2-pick power play. Anyways, let's get back into it. So the next tool that I use frequently on OddsJam is called the positive expected value tool. So that's a big word for profitable bets, right? So this tool's It's less flexible, I would say, than the screen, but the way it works is you select any books you use, whatever. Like I'm currently in Florida, so I'm basically using, mainly PrizePicks, Underdog. You'll see some Bovada in there, but all this, tool does is it goes to PrizePicks, Underdog, it pulls in all these lines, right? So it's reading in all this freaking data, tens of thousands of lines on PrizePicks. It's reading in, and it's comparing them to all the sports books. So it's updating millions of odds literally every second to show you where the value is. So here you can see Brock Boser under 2.5 shots on goal. You can get on PrizePicks. All of the sports books are pricing this around minus 140. Pinnacle, sharpest bookmaker in the world, pricing this at minus 142. So as sharp bettors, we know the breakdown of a 5 or a 6 flex is we're getting minus 119 odds on any pick we select, right? So sports books have odds. PrizePicks doesn't, right? PrizePicks is not a sports book. You'll see there's no odds on this platform. But what you can do, and exactly what I do in this sheet, is you reverse engineer PrizePicks payouts to what it would be if it were a payout from a sports book and it's minus 119 odds, right? PrizePicks doesn't vary your payout, right? You can see here, a 6-pick flex, this is the payout. It wouldn't have mattered if I took an under, an under, and under. It doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter if you take overs or unders. Whereas on the sports books, they vary payouts for the over and the under based on how likely an outcome is to occur. So here, because Boser under 2.5 shots on goal is favored, it's the more likely outcome. Sports books have it juiced pretty heavily to around minus 140, right? Sports books have it minus 140 odds. So you see you can get this play on Underdog as well. That's not always the case, right? I say this a lot, but it's the case there too. But sometimes you can't get a play on Underdog, right? PrizePicks and Underdog, they don't have the exact same lines. So it's beneficial as a sharp bettor to have numerous sports books. You can see here the value on Dinwiddie assists is on Bovada. So the more books you have, the more profitable betting opportunities you're going to have. That's just how it works. More books, more profitable bets. It's that freaking simple. But anyways, let's go up here. So Boser under 2.5 shots on goal. You can see, whoa, all the books have his under heavily favored. Some books have his under more favored. You can see Bet Rivers, they're pricing this at minus 157, right? DraftKings only minus 135. FanDuel's only minus 140. So books set lines independently, so we essentially have dozens of independent data points, all telling us where the line should be set. And you can see all the sports books roughly agree. Well, they all agree the under should be heavily favored, but how much the under should be favored varies from book to book. So our play on PrizePicks at minus 119, we're getting a lot more value to Bet Rivers than we are to DraftKings. So we kind of look at all these sports books. They're all independent data points telling us where the line should be set. We know some books like Bet Online and Pinnacle are sharper sports books. They take more action. They allow higher betting limits. They take bets from all around the world. So they're smarter sports books. So we put more weight into their odds. But long story short, as a sharp gambler, you're like, okay, all these books pricing this around minus 140. I know the math behind a 5 and a 6 flex. I know I'm getting minus 119 odds. That's a play I want to be on, right? So that's a play I took. Here's another play that looks good, but I didn't include this in my PrizePicks entry that I'm about to show you. Why didn't I include it? Well, let's go over here to open entries. So I have Matthew Tkachuk to not score a goal. Brock Boser under 2.5 shots on goal. We just saw that on the EV page. And then we're going to have 4 more picks in this one from the EV tool. But the reason I didn't include both of these picks is these players are from the same game, right? So one thing you have to consider when you're putting together players on the same game is there any correlation, right? And what correlation means is a fancy word, but all it means is like here you can see, okay, they're not varying your payouts depending on the picks you select. So sometimes you just need to be cognizant, well, if I'm putting Brock Boser under 2.5 shots on goal, does that have any relationship with Elias Peterson under 3.5 shots on goal? So as an example, on PrizePicks, it would make sense to have, let's say, Mahomes over, 280 passing yards, Travis Kelce over 75 receiving yards. If Mahomes throws 400 yards, Kelce probably is a lot more likely, he is a lot more likely to go over 75 receiving yards. He's Mahomes' main target, right? Whereas if Mahomes goes over, you wouldn't want to take Kelce's under in receiving yards. If Mahomes throws 400 yards, Kelce probably went over 75. So you'd want to include those together, both overs, because there's positive correlation. right? So long story short, I wasn't really sure about the correlation between Bozer and Peterson, so I skipped it. This specific play, and I took the Bozer play because the profit margin's higher, right? The profit margin's higher. Next play I went with, here you can see 4 more picks from the EV tool. Ryan Nembhard, under 3.5 assists. Kawhi, under 4.5 assists. Ryan Hartman, over 2.5 shots on goal. Kadri, over 2.5 shots on goal. Literally just following the data. I don't ever trust my gut. Every sports bettor thinks their gut is smart. They all trust their gut, and that's why 99.9% of sports bettors lose money, and nearly all handicappers lose money. They have no idea what they're doing. They're not following the data. People making money sports betting are the sharps, following the market, and the sports betting syndicates, which are groups of people who have really complicated models, lots of money, and those are the people who make money sports betting. It's not the guy who's like, oh, I watched LeBron James last night, he's going over today. It's like, come on, man. Like, guys like that don't beat the market, and they can beat the market, but they need to level up their thinking. They need to use data. Anyone can make money sports betting, right? We're not doing anything complicated. We're looking for value in the market like a savvy investor, right? So Tuckachuk, no goal. Brock Bozer, under 2.5 shots on goal. Kadri, over 2.5 shots on goal. Hartman, over 2.5 shots on goal. Ryan Nembhard, under 3.5 assists. Jaden Atkins, under 11.5 points. Then I have some 5 picks. Again, 5 and 6 pick flexes are basically the same. So you can kind of interchange them. If you want, the possibility of a bigger payout, a 25x payout, take a 6 pick. If you want the possibility, of hitting, if you want to hit more often, so more frequently, but have less of a payout when you do hit, then play 5 pick flexes, right? Like this example from yesterday, you can see right here, if I would have made it a 5 flex, I would have turned 400 into $4,000. But I got greedy and I wanted the 10 grand payout and I included Collins. And that obviously hurt me because instead of getting $4,000, I got $800, right? I lowered my payout based on my selection. So those are just things to be cognizant of. And the market's always moving, right? Lines move just like the price of a stock moves. Players get injured, sharp action comes in, lineups change, minute restrictions. For all these reasons, lines move, right? If a hockey player, let's say, his leg gets kind of hurt during practice, he's on a minute restriction, that affects every other player's player props. That affects the money line, the spread, it affects everything, right? It affects everything. So following the market, locking in sharp plays, those are some of the ones I went with. Hopefully this video was helpful. If not, feel free to comment any questions. I'll put my email in the description as well. And as well as a sheet kind of breaking down the PrizePicks payouts. And let's make some money, guys.